Evan. And we are currently on our way up country to the port of Liverpool. We are driving our project Rhino, made by Krug, an overland vehicle, and we're going to be shipping that from Liverpool to Halifax in Canada. And the reason for that is we are planning to drive the Pan American Highway all the way down to the bottom of Alaska. So this has been a trip a long time in the making. I can't quite believe that it's happening, that we're now on our way to deliver our vehicle to the port. We dropped off Winston alongside the Aston Martins and Lotuses and headed to Heathrow with Lizzy and Lola. We had only one day in Montreal, but we tried to make the most of it and walk miles around the old port area, along the banks of the St. Lawrence River and up into the old town. It was strange to be in this place that was so obviously Canadian, but also so very much French. And we obviously had to try some poutine, or chips and gravy as we call it up north. Well, here we are, we've made it to Canada. We are now in Montreal, and here we are with the little dogs. Can you see them? And we've just walked all the way up to the top of Montreal, and we've got an amazing view across the city and over to the St. Lawrence River. I will show you now. We had a great week in Halifax and really enjoyed this vibrant, colourful, historic and gastronomic town. European settlers named the town after the second Earl of Halifax in 1749. We visited the farmers' market full of baked goods, local delicacies and craft work. We tried a few local products. It's a popular Saturday morning vibe, complete with live music. We visited the famous Tim Hortons for coffee. Tim was a professional ice hockey player and his coffee shops are the most popular in Canada. Plus, most importantly, we visited Tony's for a donair beef kebab, born in Halifax and much copied elsewhere. We went to Point Pleasant Park on the seaward tip of Halifax for a very nice dog walk amongst the locals of Halifax, admiring the views and the memorials. Then we went along the wide seafront boardwalk with tributes to Samuel Cunard, child of Halifax, father of a shipping line, with its drunken lampposts, colourful beach huts and kiosks. It's a really lovely part of Halifax. Next, we visited the once British Citadel Fort on the hilltop of Halifax, complete with authentically period uniform guides, one of whom was from Norfolk in the UK. A real gun.
It was really good.
So that was the new gun, the Citadel. It goes up every day. Then what are we up to now?
What are we up to now is we're going for a ride on a swimming duck.
So one of them.
And also a harbour tour, which this thing goes round Halifax.
along the coast of Nova Scotia.
Just learned that he can buy one of these.
10 grand.
10 grand. Danger, danger. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. As much as we enjoyed Halifax sightseeing, on constant refresh was the AIS tracking for the ship carrying our truck. Finally, it came back online as it came into land and entered port. We walked up to the north end of Halifax to take a look, and here she is, the Atlantic Sun, docked in port. It gave us chance to visit the Halifax Explosion Memorial Bell in memory of the nearly 1,800 killed in Halifax in 1917 when a munition ship collided with another ship in harbour, causing the biggest explosion ever known at that time. A tidal wave and fires. 1 of every 25 in Halifax were killed, 1 of every 5 were injured, many blinded, 1 in every 10 were military, 1 in every 10 were left homeless. We returned the following day and peered over the fence and were relieved to see him there, but we still had 48 hours of customs to wait for, so we visited the Fairview Cemetery, which houses some of the victims of the Halifax explosion and also of the Titanic, ships from Halifax being the first on scene after the iceberg collision on the 14th of April 1912. Of the 328 recovered, many were buried at sea. Some were claimed by the families and tombstones were paid for, including for the captain, Ernest Freeman, who went down with his ship, and his stone was erected by Bruce Ismay. However, the most visited grave for J. Dawson is not Jack of the Titanic fame, but in fact Joe Dawson, although Halifax has enjoyed the tourism boost it afforded. Finally, we visited Pier 21, where 870,000 immigrants landed into Canada until 1971 when it closed. This included 24,000 war brides. The complex, which stretched over 160 acres, incorporated a train station and dock. This door is the one they would have all passed through. Hello, so I'm here at the Port of Halifax. You can see over behind me, hopefully in that car park is Kevin and our truck. He's apparently waiting for the customs officers to let him go and inspect the truck and pick it up. I'm here with the dogs and all of our bags, having just come across from the hotel. We've already been to the shipping agents and to customs this morning and have had all of our paperwork confirmed. So now we are just awaiting collection and we can go. Really exciting. Can't quite believe we're here doing this. It'd be so great to get in the truck. We've had such a lovely week in Halifax, but it won't beat getting in our own vehicle and being able to explore. We've met quite a few others who are collecting their vehicles this morning already as well, from France and Holland and Germany and other places. You can see some that are leaving now. Yeah, exciting times. And here's Kevin. Who's this? Happy Kevin! Woohoo! girls are very excited. All look okay in the truck?
All good?
Great, let's get inside. So we are in, everything looks good, no signs of anything missing. Thank you, bye bye. The girls are back in their little spot, everything looks great in here. So we're just doing a bit of an inspection and we've got a lot of unpacking to do, and then we'll go and do some groceries and get some fuel, etc, etc. See you soon. So we have done our shopping. Massive food containers that you seem to be able to get in Walmart here. We've actually managed to get that into the truck. We tried 2 different fuel stations to get water and didn't manage either of them. So now we got some at Walmart, and that means we can get on the road. So we are on our way to Peggy's Cove, beautiful scenic route along the water side. Kevin is getting used to driving on Canadian roads. He's doing very well. There he is.
Hello.
Very happy to be back in his truck.
Yay.
We're back on the road. So going down to Peggy's Cove this evening, and we are all prepared with some champagne, and we're going to have some lobster rolls. That's the plan. Yeah, this is it. We are arriving at Peggy's Cove. Still with our port sticker on the screen. Looks absolutely stunning. Just follow this round, and in 800 metres we rock up. Very cute, colourful place, isn't it? All the lobster pots. Just follow the road round to the right. Following the road up the hill and round to the left. Round to the left. Just keep following it round to the left.
Off here.
No, it's... So we're now parked up at the famous Peggy's Cove, which is really beautiful, and lots of lovely seafood, which we'll be enjoying this evening.
metal for metal.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as Peter touches something that's lower than its melting point, solidifies. That's why we use
Fantastic.
the centrifuge.
Yeah.
Because the centrifuge, when it's spinning pressure,
Yeah.
contributes to cavities.
Okay.
Otherwise, the pewter would just hit the mold and then stop.
Yeah.
So this is still really hot,
Yeah.
and it's flexible because it's hot.
Yeah.
I can put it back.
It looks beautiful. It's like a work of art on its
It melts right away,
Yeah.
and it doesn't affect the quality to remelt it at all.
No.
So any mistakes, just go back in there. See where the pewter went into.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
look forward to see if the cavities. Oh, that's interesting. The
Yeah, that one
it's
didn't-
still over there, nothing over here.
Okay. It's like an air bubble, I guess.
Yeah. So
And then you kind of polish them up and things, I guess. After.
yeah, so if you filled it and it's got the detail and it doesn't have a lot of pitting.
Is that air bubbles when you get the pitting? Is it air in the?
I think it's because of the too much talcum powder.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if we want to keep it, I
Yeah.
put it off down at the D because
Yeah.
I would then have a handle
Okay. For polishing.
to take it over to the wheels because it's a very
Yeah.
small piece, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we would use a cotton wheel with a bit of jeweler's rouge on it. It acts
Yeah.
like rotating sandpaper. We
Yeah.
put it on that machine
Yeah.
and just take the roughness off because
Yeah.
if you want to feel it's not hot. There's
Oh
roughness around
yeah.
the edges.
It's pretty smooth though,
Mhm.
considering, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a nice texture.
Yeah. So if it's supposed to be shiny, we would polish
Yeah.
it, make it shiny, take the roughness off,
Yeah.
and then we would use a wire wheel and go in two different directions on both sides, and that
Yeah.
creates micro scratches all over the piece,
Yeah.
which gives it a sheen and really
Yeah.
brings out the texture.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much texture it brings out.
Yeah.
And then because it's jewelry, it gets tumbled overnight in walnut shells and corn cob,
Oh gosh.
and it makes it shiny.
Really? Is that what you use?
Yeah.
I guess there's oil in the walnut shells.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What a great. And when you say tumbled, what machinery?
Like a tumbler, like a
Okay.
vibrates and it makes it
Okay.
all move around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So overnight.
So today we have driven north across the Isle of Nova Scotia to the Bay of Fundy, and we've got a beautiful park up on the beach, and you might notice that it's low tide at the moment. The Bay of Fundy has some of the biggest tides in the world at nearly 12-metre tidal range. We used to have a boat at Fleetwood, which is one of the top tidal ranges in the world, but not quite as big as Bay of Fundy, which is the largest anywhere. So we really had to come and see it. You can see the background noise. Everybody's enjoying being by the beach. So I'll just pan around so you can see the low tide position now. And you can see the action of the water on the rocks around us. We're going to go on a walk and see some of that now. We're just approaching low tide in about 30 minutes. And we are due to camp here for the night, so we'll be able to watch the tide come in for high water about 5 o'clock tonight. It's all good fun on the beach over here. And here we are at Flower Pot Rock. We've just been for a little hike across the beach on the Bay of Fundy, and here you can see the power of the water. We are approaching Cape Breton and the Cabot Trail. We've driven north today. We've been through Truro, which is a little bit weird because it's about 45 minutes away from home in Cornwall. There's another one over here, and Liverpool and Chester and various other places. And we're going to the Cabot Trail now. We're going to stay on the Cabot Trail car park tonight and do a hike in the morning. We even managed to visit a Canadian tyre in Truro, which is one of Kevin's must-do stops. It's full of hunting gear and fishing gear and all things outdoors. Way to Egypt Falls, which is just off the famous Cabot Trail, which is our route for today. And we've just turned off the main road, and it looks like we've got our first bit of off-roading in Canada to do. Quite a steep track, but no problem at all to our truck, so we'll enjoy the ride and see what the falls looks like in a minute. So here we are at the Egypt Falls, and it was quite a steep descent, but it was definitely worth it. Let me show you. Would you believe we get here and there's another UK band, so we've now met Mike and Jill from the UK, who are here in another overlanding trip from Motorcraft in Doncaster. So here we are, we have survived the steep descent of Egypt Falls, and we're now back on the Cabot Trail, which is stunning. I'm just going to show you. We're on our way to Chetty Camp. As you can probably tell from the superlatives abound, we have now driven into the National Parks area of the Highlands of Cape Breton, which is a part of the Cabot Trail, and it certainly lives up to all the hype. Now we're here, the mountains straight into the sea. Wow. We've stopped at a viewing point because I'm trying to get pictures out the front window and it's not going so well, but just have a look at this. So today we are going to do the Skyline Trail, which is one of the most famous trails on the Cabot Highway, which takes us around the Highlands and to some brilliant views along the coast. So I'll just show you this. It's 5.1 mile loop with an elevation of 290 to 405 feet. So we've arrived a week before the season starts, so all the campsites in the national park are closed, but the park, which is normally a paid entry, was free to enter, and there's literally hardly anybody here at all, and this is one of the most popular walks. And the weather is perfect.
Good job, really.
What's that, Kevin?
Because the wind gusts may exceed 200 kilometres an hour. That's quite quick.
That is quite quick. And there is a chance of seeing moose and potentially bears on this trip. The girls are not allowed. They're in the van, so we're on our own if the bears arrive.
And if we see a bear, all you have to do is run faster than your partner.
Yes, darling. Right, off we go. Oh, here we go, look. Bears, moose, coyote. Steep terrain and high winds. What's not to like? So, no wolves or moose sighted yet. In fact,
Moose here.
We're just about to enter an enclosure that has been put up to stop moose getting in, because if you can see the sort of grassland shrub forest behind me, the moose have been eating the forest. So in 2007 they put up this rather prison-like fencing to stop the moose going into this section to allow the forest to regrow. We've reached the pinnacle position on the Skyline Trail where you get to see the beautiful views of the coast. Fortunately, we haven't seen any moose or bears, etc. so far. And now we have reached the viewing platform. This is our views of the sea.
And supposedly you can see whales, but obviously we're not going to see that today.
No.
Could be a bit difficult.
It's a very impressive cloud bank though, to be fair. So we're gonna sit and have a little snack on the bench and enjoy the sunshine. Finished the Skyline Trail and we're just driving about 20 kilometres to Pleasant Bay. We've just seen a bald eagle, but obviously didn't have either of the cameras out in time, and I'm even seeing bits of snow, which I can just show you here at the side of the road, which is a pretty interesting sign about what the winter must be like here. It's here's some more. We're at 455 metres altitude here, so not necessarily all that high, and it's pretty warm today, so I'm guessing that's the last of the winter snow, but I'm guessing there was quite a bit up here through the winter that there's still some left now. So, on to Pleasant Bay. Here we are in Pleasant Harbour, which is very pleasant little fishing harbour. At the moment it's empty because all of the fishing boats are out fishing. We were parked up just along the way. You can see the blue truck over there who was parked next to us, another UK van. And as we were all sat around having a chat last night, a local guy was kind enough to come over and tell us about a free source of water that is apparently pumped down from the mountains. It's spring water that we can come and use to fill up the truck. So we're doing that this morning. We have a 3-stage water filter system going into our tank, which Kevin is demonstrating here. So it's on a little electric pump which has a battery attached to it, and what we do is we decant into the jerry cans there in order to then pump into the tank. Regardless of what the quality is supposed to be of the water, we always filter it into the tank just to make sure that we preserve the cleanliness of our tank. And we've also got a water filter that is under our sink, which does an extra filter and a UV light for our drinking water. So the water pressure here is very impressive, and I'll show you in a minute when we do our jerry can fill. Now that's fast. So we are headed to the very north of Nova Scotia this morning to a place called Cove, following some beautiful scenery along the northwest coast of the Isle of Cape Breton. We are now on a bit of an off-road stretch to the last 8 kilometres up to Cove, but it's beautiful. Morning, or afternoon actually. We've just made our way south from Cove, where we were last night, and we have done the Middlehead Trail near Ingonish. We've reached the end of the peninsula and the views are epic. Let me show you. Here we are again. We had a nice night at Ingonish Harbour again with Andrash and Josie, and this morning we are on the road again. We've just come around the corner to Freshwater Trail back in the National Park to give the dogs a bit of a leg stretch, because tonight we are getting the ferry to Newfoundland.
straight on Highway 12.
North Sydney. The harbour is behind me, and you can just see coming into dock the ferry to Newfoundland. So this is the end of the Nova Scotia episode, although not our last time here. We're going to come back after a bit of a tour around Newfoundland for the next few weeks. So I hope you've enjoyed, and come back again to see our adventures in Newfoundland.